Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Friday, the 5th of January 2018. So yesterday, the pound reversing off Thursday's down move. You can see there. It was still fairly quiet, though. You can't see anything between the two psychological levels unless I do this. So you can see how quiet the market was. So quite a narrow range, and then just trading sideways and a bit higher on the overnight there as things start to get underway. And in the daily chart, you can see how narrow the range was for yesterday. But the market back above the 1.3549 level there, and obviously still gunning for the September high and also the high of this bar as well. Meanwhile, in the Dow, the insanity continues. We saw the market hit the 25,000 level in the pre-market session. I sent out a note and said would they do the same as they've done in the previous 6 days and sell the market at the beginning. Well, it started off that way. It was a big sudden drop, but we've got this classic price action of where we have very high volume and the market comes off the low and then the buying hit the market with a bit of selling there. I think a lot of people went short, and that's why you're seeing or try to go short, let's put it that way, which is like standing in front of an express train at the moment with the Dow. You just want some sort of pullback and get on the long side, and then we've got some selling pressure there, and then they just managed to run it up to this level here, which I will tell you is the 25,100 if I'm not mistaken. It certainly is, and then the prices started to become sideways after this sort of run. And don't forget, you had a fairly decent run in the pre-market session as well. As 50 points there from there, so we've got a 150 point move on no news. The only news that came out really was the crude oil figures. So then we had a signal to go long, and then short obviously is financial suicide at the moment in this market, as you can see from the daily chart, which we'll look at in just a moment. Then after things had calmed down in the afternoon session, the evening session just moved the market back up again. And you can see, the bits of buying coming into the market here, and then some profit taking before the close, and trying to buy back there. But eventually you'll see, even in the overnight session, the market being bought in this pogo stick type of a bar, and then the market moving higher again on the overnight. And in the daily chart, you can see that we're already dealing with a new all-time high once more. The insanity continues. Yesterday's high was 25,106, and at the moment, if I can delete both and then just add this in, 25,118. And today we've got the non-farm payrolls out for the US as well. That's the only thing the market's going to be waiting for is this, and they're due out at 1:30. The forecast is for 190, previous 228. So let's see how the market reacts if it does come out at 190. The fact that it's forecast will probably allow them to just ramp the market back to the upside there. And as it says on Zero Hedge, Dow tops 25k as gold surges to all-time record win streak. I like this small graphic they've got in here of Dow 40,000, and then the one by the side of it 100,000 as well. You can see there. Listen, at the moment, the way this is going, it's going to keep going. It's as simple as that. Now, speaking of gold, here's the gold chart, and I don't know if I've shown this one this week or not, but it's one I've been keeping an eye on. We've seen gold move higher from the beginning of December. They say it's the highest winning streak of consecutive days up on record. Interesting that gold is actually going up with the Dow now, and it's going to be interesting to see how this lot starts to unfold. But this is an interesting development that we're seeing here. That said, of course, we've got the non-farm payroll figures today, so I assume there'll be some bank or whatever that'll come out and sell 40 billion of gold futures to slam the price. That they don't even own the underlying physical, but it's just a way of getting the price back down. so that wouldn't surprise me at all. And the dollar continues to weaken, which again is another the opposite, and another reason why gold is moving to the upside. So again, watch this area of 90.76 for the dollar as well. So a quick look at the implied volatility. The implied continues to move lower, 826 to 814. You'd expect that with the market making the move that it did yesterday. Another record for the VIX yesterday, 2 days below 8, or at the 8 handle, I think is that the way they expressed it. So again, another record. This just bubbles everywhere at the moment. And speaking of bubbles, let's have a quick look at Bitcoin before we conclude. And Bitcoin, yeah, it's still consolidating really. This is the 4-hour chart, back towards the 76% that I drew in before. Market needs to drive through this if it's going to move higher, and it will have some sort of resistance there if it does take out the 76% that we're seeing here. Interesting article today on Zero Hedge as well. The anatomy of a crypto nightmare. Ripple CEO is now richer than Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg is the CEO of Facebook, and everybody thought that was overvalued when it launched, but nothing compared to this, as you see here, having soared 36,000% last year and continue its crazy run in 2018. And you can certainly see that the world has gone stark raving mad. We are in bubble everywhere. Bubbles, I think they was the term that's used, isn't it, man? Everywhere bubbles. The problem is when these start to pop across the board and the devastating effect it's going to have. Okay, that will do it for this one. I'll report in if there's anything to report about, but at the moment it just seems like the unassailable rise in the Dow is going to continue, and it's just a matter of knocking off the 100 points at a time before we get to 26,000. As long as the madness continues, that's the way and the direction the market is going to go at the moment. Right, that's it. As ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.